In 1990, the luxury car market had clear rulers, German engineering, and American tradition. But then, Toyota attempted the impossible. They launched a mystery brand, along with the sedan, that promised something audacious. This LS400 would have Mercedes quality and BMW performance for thousands less. It wasn't just another foreign car. It was the silent assassin that demolished the American luxury market overnight. This is the story of how Toyota's billion-dollar gamble changed America forever. Welcome to the Gear Shift. But to really understand, we need to rewind to the late 1980s, when American luxury cars had gotten kind of crappy. They were really only being bought by old people. So if you wanted a good luxury car, you were basically forced to go with a European brand. Mercedes had their S-Class, and BMW had their 7 Series. Both cars, however, commanded super high prices. Meanwhile, American options like the Cadillac DeVille or the Lincoln Town Car had grown long in the tooth. Yeah, they were plush, but they were often underpowered and mechanically outdated. But even the German flagships weren't flawless themselves. They weren't exactly reliable, and part prices were astronomical to say the least. There was a sense of complacency in the air, and Japan was ready to pounce. Toyota said, "We can do this, and we can do it better." But their path to success wasn't a simple one. For a Japanese brand to just waltz in with a new car, this wasn't just considered bold, but it was foolish to say the least. Toyota, though, they raised the stakes to epic levels. They didn't just want to launch a new model. They were gambling $1 billion on a completely unknown brand, Lexus. Think about it. Lexus had no heritage or customer base. America, meanwhile, is the most brand-conscious car market on earth. Their competitors would have decades of prestige over them. But Toyota had one final ace up their sleeve, the F1 project. This would be the company's most ambitious car project ever. 1,400 engineers were assembled, and over 2,000 technicians were involved to accomplish this seismic goal. Even within Toyota, there were doubters who said these plans were simply impossible. But when the first LS400 was finally unveiled at the Detroit Auto Show, it shocked everyone. This was a masterpiece of engineering, and it all started with a newly developed 4-liter V8, the first Japanese V8 ever sold in America. It was married to a silky 4-speed automatic transmission. But the Lexus team paid special attention to ride and quietness. 5 separate layers of sound insulation encased the passenger cabin, and the rubber mounts throughout the chassis delivered unprecedented smoothness. The result was a car that, at speed, seemed to almost float, and in road tests, journalists wasted little time praising it. They claimed it was swift, smooth, and silent. In practical terms, the ride quality was often likened to Cadillac's famed cushiness, but without its soft, willowy traits. In fact, over 1/3 of buyers traded in their Cadillac or Lincoln. For rivals, it was time to buckle up, because when the LS400 finally went on sale, everyone was shocked at its price. The base price, around $35,000, was astonishingly low for this level of luxury, which was roughly half that of an S-Class or a 7 Series sedan. Armed with a killer combination of features, comfort, and value, the 400 quickly won fans, and the numbers speak for themselves. Within a year, Toyota's luxury division had sold 8,000 examples in the U.S. Critics wasted little time elevating the 400 to the front rank of luxury sedans. By the mid-90s, this upstart brand was actually beating the German incumbents. Lexus division sales in July 1990 surpassed those of Mercedes-Benz and BMW in the U.S. It was clear the Lexus fast trip to the top had sent shockwaves through the global auto industry and its rivals. They lost billions. But the impact was more about the numbers. You see, by the early 90s, every major luxury builder was scrambling to match Lexus's formula. The Cadillac Sedan, once the symbol of American prestige, quietly faded from its showroom podium. Lexus wasn't entirely invincible, though. They actually faced a difficult challenge in the mid-90s. You see, they wanted to evolve the LS400. Yes, it was already a respected luxury sedan, but Lexus thought they could turn it into something even better. But there was a small problem. Changing too much could alienate their loyal customer base who had come to love the car's refined sound, understated design, and reliable performance. So what Lexus did is they chose a path of quiet revolution. They redesigned the car from the inside out. They replaced 90% of its parts and managed to trim 209 pounds while keeping the overall look familiar. The exterior received sharper lines, larger headlights, and a more aerodynamic profile. But that wasn't all. Inside, a longer wheelbase meant more rear legroom. New comfort features like dual climate control, power seats, and a CD changer elevated the cabin's luxury. But of course, we mustn't forget about the engine. It was a lighter, more powerful V8, which propelled the car from 0 to 60 in just 7.3 seconds. Safety was also enhanced with dual airbags, seatbelt tensions, and structural upgrades, meeting future side impact standards. And the result? Well, Lexus had pulled off a rare feat, meaningful evolution, without losing what made the original special. And 3 decades on, the LS400's legacy still resonates. They pretty much pulled up a chair at the big boys' table, routinely competing toe-to-toe with Mercedes and BMW. So you might be wondering, how did American automakers react to the LS400? Well, Cadillac responded with their most European-looking car to date. In 1992, the Seville STS actually marked a major turning point for the company, as Cadillac was successful in proving they could go toe-to-toe with global luxury leaders. But while it garnered critical acclaim and improved sales, it didn't surpass the Lexus LS400 in market dominance. This Japanese sedan truly defined the 90s like no other.